Hello and welcome. I am Zero and I am Nothing and you are yourselves. And welcome back to another video. Now, if you've seen my last few videos, you will have known that I promised a new series. This is not going to be a new series. What this is going to be, however, is a response video. Because you see, around half a year ago, a YouTuber by the name of Grouch decided to make a Team Fortress 2 weapons rebalance video, and that video is really goddamn bad, let's be honest. Or well, I'm going to show you how bad it is. Now, I need to make a few things clear. That throughout this video I'm going to be I need to set up a rule that each weapon slot that he discusses, I'm going to discuss the weapons within that slot first, and then I'm just going to do that over and over throughout the video. So when he finishes talking about weapons from a specific slot, then I'm going to unpause the video and then continue on. But that rule is probably going to be broken later on, because this video, for the first 5 and or 6 minutes, it's not that bad, but later on you will see that it almost seems like a troll video, if you will, as it just goes off a goddamn cliff. Now, I am currently on my laptop, and I made my own Team Fortress weapons rebalanced list. Some of these rebalances I'm gonna have to tweak as I'm looking at them again from well over a year and a half later. But now, I first discovered this video after getting recommended in my recommendation feed, rather, a reaction of it from the channel Roost, the secondary channel of Team Fortress 2 YouTuber The Great Blue. I also watched another video where I got some more information about Grouch, and not a whole lot, from another YouTuber by the name of Jake Jakers. So thanks, lads. So from what I gathered, Grouch is apparently an in-game designer, which I'm at the very least glad that he hasn't decided to use that as a way of saying, I am better than you, haha, look my opinion. And also, there are some people who have been saying that he used a 50-hour account to test these weapons out, which definitely not, because if you were to look at the bottom left, you would see that he has cosmetics, especially unusual, as well as multiple other items that would suggest that he has bare minimum 300 to 500 hours within the game, if not a lot more. I actually did find his Steam account, and he has well over 2,000 hours within game. But you know what? Enough of me yapping. Let's just start the video. Oh boy.
I fixed 30 of Team Fortress 2's most broken weapons and set them up on my public server for you to play with. But I have to start by
Okay. Shit. Now, I want you to take a look at all these weapons. Yes, all these weapons he is going to, quote, rebalance. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's take a look here for a moment. Yeah, and also if you noticed, yes. Now, firstly, I need to make something clear that Grouch is apparently a soldier main, and he is, and only one soldier weapon. No equalizer, no man treads. In fact, there's no rap assassin, no babyface's blaster, no classic. I mean, he's going to rebalance how the sniper works from a stock, or from how he works in general. That's why these stock sniper rifles are here. I have no idea why he thinks that something like the Ghost Camper needs a change necessarily, or why he thinks that the Iron Bomber is fucking bad, really. Some of these weapons are either annoying and not really that overpowered, And also, yes, the brass beast in the buffalo stick sandwich. Oh, excuse me, the brass shit and the buffalo shit sandwich. There we go. Nice. I like the fact that two of the three hibernating bear set items are here, except the warrior spirit. Where the fuck is the warrior spirit? I don't know. I'm not sure why you didn't add that one here. And oh boy.
But I have to start by apologizing in advance to any Natasha, Vaccinator, or Kunai fans
I can't wait for y'all to see what he does to these weapons.
out there. You're gonna fucking hate this video. Now, some people might think that TF2 is perfect and doesn't really need fixing, and
legitimately, well, yeah, this is a joke right here, but legitimately, if there is anybody who thinks that, they are delusional. Let's be honest. TF2 has quite a few problems, especially with weapons that definitely need to be fixed or tweaked.
Who am I kidding? None of you are thinking that. My thinking is that since I can't really do anything to fix the bot problem, I might as well try my hand at fixing some of TF2's other problems. You see, most weapons in TF2 are extremely well balanced. There are, however, still a handful of useless weapons.
I am not exactly sure how you would describe the Huang here or the overdose as useless, but do go on.
That nobody uses and need to be buffed, as well as a few legitimate weapons in TF2 are extremely well balanced. There are, however, still a handful of useless weapons that nobody uses and need to be buffed.
Buffed, yes. Useless. Not all of these are useless. I mean, the cleanest carbine is only good in the MVM. Jesus.
As well as a few legitimately overpowered weapons.
I would call the Diamondback annoying at best, but then again, I don't. Okay, here's the thing. The last time that I played on a Valsar was during Halloween, or Scream Fortress rather, and even then I haven't seen many spies. I played like well over like 50-60 hours in that. I haven't seen really any spies use this, as it's unused, but to call it overpowered is a bit ridiculous. The kunai, I would say it's pretty well balanced, so I'm not sure how you call it overpowered. The Vaccinator currently is the closest thing to being overpowered, but if anything, it's really something that's just annoying to deal with. If you have a Vaccinator mech that knows how to use it on your team, great. If you are facing against one who knows how to use it, then you'll probably want to kill yourself. So the statement of these being overpowered is insane.
That desperately need a good nerf. And
not desperately, except for the Vaccinator.
there's also a couple of oddball, annoying weapons that aren't even technically good, but just suck to play against and need to be completely rethought.
Rethought. I guess for that, then that should slow down. Yeah, maybe. The Thompson, I haven't really seen many engineers use this. Then again, the stock shotgun and the rescue ranger fucking outshine it. And also, it's kind of not really that good, to be honest with you. Because dealing against a mech or a spy, if you can actually aim the fucking thing, then yeah, it's pretty damn good. But the likelihood of you dealing with one of those two, if or both, are not really likely, not all the time. But the sentry taking damage, thusly the need for a rescue ranger is definitely something that you will need. Oh yeah, also he decided to bring the Jag. I can't wait for you all to see what he does to the Jag. And by that I mean he fucking rapes it.
For example, the Natasha is not even a very good weapon, but people still use it for the sheer psychological damage it deals when you have to fight against this thing. It slows down anybody you hit with it, which is really frustrating to play against, so I changed it so that instead of slowing down your enemies, it speeds you up. Heavy's walk speed while revved up with the Natasha is now the same as his normal walk speed. However, he still can't jump or switch weapons quickly, so there is still some incentive to not be revved up all the time. And Heavy is still the slowest class in the game, so he's not going to be chasing you down with this thing, don't worry. But he will be a monster with good positioning. And good positioning is what Heavy is all about. Buffed. Continuing with the Heavy, we've got the Brass Beast, which I think is pretty underrated. Yeah, it sucks being super slow to rev up and move, but that extra 20% damage is really nothing to sneeze at. This weapon is great when you're already revved up, but since it takes so long to rev up, it makes repositioning pretty dangerous. If you need some ammo or a health pack, you better have a shotgun handy because the Brass Beast is just too slow to protect you while you're walking from point A to point B. To help with this, I simply doubled the minigun's ammo capacity. The weapon that makes it hard to reposition safely now gives you some extra time before you need to reposition. Buffed. And for the final minigun change, the Huo Long Heater. I personally love the concept of this weapon, but let's face it, it's flat out useless. The rings of fire are a great gimmick, but losing 4 ammo a second to produce them is a mighty price to pay, and it doesn't end up being worth it 95% of the time. It only does 12.5% more damage to burning players, and they're usually only burning if they're already up in your face, which means that any minigun would really tear them apart anyways. At mid-range, the damage bonus is nice, but it's not worth coordinating with your team's pyro just for that 12.5% more damage. I think this weapon should really encourage the Heavy to link up with a friendly pyro for a crazy 2-man team, but in its current state, it just doesn't do that. It's too normal. It feels like a normal minigun with less ammo. It's a little less damage most of the time and a little more damage sometimes, but nothing stands out about this weapon other than the rings of fire, which, granted, are epic as hell. I decided to increase the damage penalty to minus 25% so it's harder to fight non-burning players, and instead of doing 25% more damage to burning players, it does 33% more damage in the form of mini crits, which end up turning into the normal minigun damage when combined with that minus 25% damage penalty because of math. So what's the point? Well, mini crits are unaffected by damage falloff, so fighting a burning target close up won't really be any different. But fighting a burning target at mid-range or long range will be absolute hell for them. I'm hoping this will give the Huo Long Heater a more specialized role in the game, but since I haven't actually used these weapons in an actual match before, I'd love for you guys to play on the server yourself and tell me what you think. Buffed. Now for some
Okay, so quite a few problems here. And yes, by the way, as you can see on the top right, he is playing against bots. Now, when he says he hasn't used them in an actual match, he most likely means against real players, because he actually does have his own server. Okay, so firstly, shit. Okay, so the Natasha. Okay, so how do you buff the Natasha? How do you buff the Natasha? Good question. Now, okay, so the thing is that I need to make something clear that I am not going to fill this video with my suggestions, because that is like a different video series of my of the different stats that I made for all the weapons. So I need to make that clear. But how do you buff the Natasha? Okay, so maybe you could, I don't know, maybe maybe make the Natasha the Bloodsucker, because originally it was going to be called the Ludmilla, and it was going to function essentially as the heaviest version of the Bloodsucker. Of course, to be honest, that would probably be hell. So here's some ideas that I have. Bring back the 50% increase in fucking ammo. I'm not sure why I decided to take that away, and to try and make the slowdown effect, because that's why people don't really like to play against this weapon, is the game slowdown. Take the slowdown, right, and make it, and have it be based off distance. So how about something like at the closest range, or wait, at the say like from the furthest to closest, it should be something like minus like 5 to 10%. At the furthest range, or the closest range, it should be like minus 15 to 20% decrease in movement speed. Of course, with other penalties like minus 15 damage penalty, and something like it being like, I don't know, less accurate at the very least, to try and mitigate the annoyance that this minigun would bring to the table. But the stats that he suggests is like, what? Increased movement speed. Okay, so a lot of people have problems with video, or other people who suggest weapon rebalances that just end up creating a new weapon, because the stats he suggests here literally feel like they would belong on another weapon. I mean, the fuck? Okay, so never mind, I misheard what he actually said. The Natasha increases your fucking movement, your base movement speed, which still isn't good because you still have its regular fucking downsides. Just, okay, why not? Oh my god. Okay, here's to fix his version of the new Natasha. How about have the Natasha, like, if you focus on like a single enemy, for example, you decrease their movement speed by say 10%, but your move speed is increased by 10%. No, something a bit more unique than just that, because I am kind of stumped and I'm not sure how to fully respond to that. But the shit that he said about the Brass Beast, the 100% increase in ammo capacity, okay, that's pretty cool, but that's really not useful, because the main problem that people have with the brass shit is that you move way too fucking slowly. That's the main problem. 50% slower spin up time, 60% slower movement speed while you fucking have it deployed. What? Legitimately, I mean, are you constantly shooting the fucking brass shit? Is that what's going on? Are you constantly shooting it that you need the extra ammo, and with the brass piece to become essentially a sentry? So, how about this? How about have the damage bonus be increased by 5% from 20 to 25%? Take away the damage resistance below half health, one spun up, whatever, all that shit. Increase the accuracy by say 20%, and then at the very least half the downsides. And of course, some people are probably going to be thinking, is that the Tomislav's thing, you know, the extra accuracy? I would say, no. The Tomislav's main thing is that, no, the silent spin up. The accuracy is its second bonus. That's the second main thing to the Tomislav, so why not have that instead? The thing is that if Valve is ever going to add more weapons, especially more miniguns in the game, then the increased in accuracy isn't something that is completely unique to a single weapon. Come on, then, it's a bit fucking ridiculous. Of course, now that I've talked about the Brass Beast buffs, which really he didn't buff it all that much, it's just minuscule. The Hulong here. Fix the Hulong here. Okay, so his ideas are to increase the amount of ammo you consume from the firing. Okay, that's a good change. But then he goes off a goddamn cliff when he suggests that the damage needs to be fucking nerfed. So that okay, so why the fuck would it should be like the heavy and the sun stick? In fact, that's not why they need just. He's not going to talk about the sun stick in this video at all. There's literally only one scout weapon on this list, or within this video rather, and I legitimately do not understand why. Why in the actual hell? I mean, Scout and Pyro teaming up to take out somebody, sure, but a heavy needs to be, no, big and fucking strong. the only way that I can see happening is like, I don't know, fuck Fat Scout and Pyro. So that is a really shit idea. To increase the base damage of this thing. I mean, my opinion of the Hulong here is that it's mediocre, let's say. The Hulong here is just right in the middle. It is just pretty mediocre, fairly boring. So why increase the width of the flame rings and also have you being able to see through the flame rings with ease, because that is fucking stupid. I'm not sure why Valve doesn't allow you to do so. And why not increase the damage that the Hulong here does towards burning players by like 15 or 20%, you know? And I mean boom, because yeah, the Hulong here actually increases the damage you deal to burning players by 12.5%, not 25%. But I have a different idea. Now the Hulong here, in its concept version, it was going to actually be pretty damn different. Really different. Of course, Valve being a bit too lazy, they couldn't, actually program it. What am I talking about? Well, meet the Hulong Heatmaker. Yes, as you can see right there. Now, okay, so a minigun that shoots fireworks, those fireworks would need to do a lot less damage. Like, no shit. It would need to do a lot less goddamn damage. Now, a rocket from the rocket launcher, the base rocket launcher, at its base damage is 90. So why not have each, let's say, rocket deal, or I guess firework deal 20, 15 damage. Of course, the thing is that you have to deal with the firing rate, because the more damage they deal, the slower it should fire, because to have a rocket launcher and a minigun being fused into one is a recipe for fucking disaster. So how about this? How about have the flame rings be a shield around the heavy, increase its width by 30%, and have the ability to see through the fucking rings. So now the fireworks, have them be mini rockets, in a sense that they travel 20% faster, or have them travel 20% faster than the stock rocket, have them being fired 25% faster, and with a 20% larger explosive radius. But how about this? The damage should be decreased by, let's say, up to 70%. So the base damage is 27, maximum ramp up is 34, and the fall off is 16. Now as to where would the fire come from? Because what I was thinking is that the Hulong Heatmaker now is going to have its own like a meter, an oil meter for where the fireworks could come from. So how about this? How about I'm gonna skip two of these stats that I fucking made, but so have anyone who is stupid enough to get anywhere near your fucking flames, have your Hulong Heatmaker deal minicore damage towards them. Of course, have the oil meter, I guess you could say, consume 2 oil per second when spun up, but only it has 100 oil or ammo, as well as having only 100 rockets in the fucking clip. But oh yeah, and also have minus like 50% afterburn damage. That's the ideas that I came up with. Now, there will of course need to be a lot of testing and whatnot. I personally do not have a server that I can test these weapons out in. So what Grouch should have done is at the very least think of stats that aren't too bad, also not too good. Stats that won't jeopardize the fucking weapon to an insane degree. But besides that, now on to the food items. The fuck items.
Yourself and tell me what you think. Buffed. Now for some sandwiches. The buffalo steak sandwich is now eaten twice as fast and deploys and holsters a good bit faster too, allowing for high damage melee heavy to be less of a premeditated gimmick and more of a spur of the moment plot twist during a team fight. Buffed. And the Delocus bar is now eaten 4 times faster and deploys and holsters significantly faster, making it more of a mid-battle snack rather than a full-course meal. I've always thought it was the weakest sandwich since it only heals a small fraction of your health, and that 50 bonus health might seem nice, but it doesn't actually increase your overheal capacity, so if you're using a medic on your team, which you should be, it kinda becomes useless. This new design will allow Heavy to take multiple bites pretty much back to back and will allow him to cut his snack time short anytime he likes to jump back into battle. It still increases your max health and it still doesn't heal much, but now it's way harder to be caught with your pants down like with the other sandwiches. Buffed. And for our last heavy change, I tried to do something.
Okay, you know what? Okay, so I personally have a rule when it comes to balancing weapons, that being any weapon that or item that increases your movement speed, the penalty should never be something that fucks with your health. Like for example, how you're marked for that when you have the equalizer deployed, or how you have a 15% damage penalty when you have the power jack deployed. Of course, those weapons would need downsides, and I'm up for that, but those should not be the downsides. Something should be done about Heavy's food items. That being that his food items should, at the very least be eaten faster. By like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20% if they don't restore you to full health. So the fact that you eat the buffalo steak sandwich twice as fast, okay, that's pretty good. Sadly, he does not mention the fact that the buffalo steak sandwich actually gives you a 20% damage penalty. So, how do you fix this lower shit? Okay, how about this? Why not have the buffalo steak sandwich be eaten say 30% faster, 35% faster, and restore say 75 to 100 HP? At the very least have something nice. And okay, not that. Fuck's sake, I want this video to be like, oh, let me present you all my fucking weapon balance ideas, because then that's a different video series. But oh shit. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention to this next part and tell me if you notice something.
The Delocus bar is now eaten 4 times faster and deploys and holsters significantly faster, making it more of a mid-battle snack rather than a full-course meal. I've always thought it was the weakest sandwich since it only heals a small fraction of your health, and that 50 bonus health might seem nice, but it doesn't actually increase your overheal capacity, so if you're using a medic on your team, which you should be, it kinda becomes useless. This new design will allow Heavy to take multiple bites pretty much back to back and will allow him to cut his snack time short anytime he likes to jump back into battle. It still increases your max health and it still doesn't heal much, but now it's way harder to be caught with your pants down like with the other sandwiches. Buffed.
Be caught with your pants down like the other sandwiches. Yeah, if you noticed in that clip, the fact that he was just constantly fucking eating the damn Delocus bar. I mean, being able to eat it 4 times faster, okay, that's cool, but you should at least let people fucking move when they devour that shit. Because the main problem that I have with the fucking Delocus bar is the fact. Okay, I show you a small fraction. 1/3 of your health, a small fraction. No, that would be like 25 fucking health. Also the fact, I mean, the score they gave, they let you have the plus 50 max health. That's pretty cool, but it's like a small fraction. And I mean, just 50 health fucking healed. That is such shit. That is legitimately horrible. Why have the fucking Dolokas bar be eaten, I don't know, like 40% faster? Because it restores so low health. But I mean, I would be down with it, being eaten faster. And I would be down with the 100 health per consumption. I mean, that's the thing that I hate about it. Is the fact that I have to shit my fucking pants. Also realizing, oh shit, I better eat this. Because I don't want to have that max fucking health. And that is just annoying as hell. That is a goddamn problem. So being able to eat faster is nice. Being able to have excuse me. Being able to have fucking an increase in max health is good. But it's like, this thing is not even a challenge to the righteous banana. Why do I keep calling it that? To the second banana, let alone the sandwich. I mean, the thing is that this thing is just bad to use, or just very underpowered. It could at least, I don't know, increase the wearer's max HP by 50 for like, I don't know, up to 60 seconds. Have it recharge like 100%, 150% instead of 100% faster. And why not have it heal up to 125 fucking HP? Boom, that would be a buff. This legitimately is not a buff. I mean, what he did to a fucking Huan here is not a buff. What he did to the fucking buffalo steak, I mean, it's a small buff, but he neglected the main downside of the fucking weapon. That's actually the item that's in. And this is not a buff. This is a fucking nerf.
And for our last heavy change, I tried to do something us heavy fans have been wanting for a long time.
Us heavy fans. And yeah, look at that. Unusual, festive, Islander, festive tie turner, all the fucking Sub-Zero suit and shit. There's no way that this guy, I'm not sure why people got the idea that he recorded all this footage on his like shitter account, because that is not the items that a 50-hour account would be fucking having.
A heavy subclass. If you don't know, a subclass is basically any weapon or combination of weapons that radically changes how a class is played while still allowing them to fill their niche role. Think Huntsman Snipers, Demo Knights, and Battle Engineers. Heavy has never had a true subclass, so here's my attempt. The Big Business, previously known as the Family Business. What once was a slightly different shotgun side grade is now a complete and total death machine on par with Heavy's miniguns. It still has 7 shots in the clip, but instead of boringly just firing a little faster and doing a little less damage, it gives Heavy a speed boost anytime he hits an enemy with the thing. And if he eliminates the enemy entirely, they'll drop a small health pack that Heavy can swoop in and grab with his speed boost. Fat Scout has arrived. Tell your friends. Now, obviously this is a direct upgrade from the normal shotgun so far, and it is a direct upgrade to the normal shotgun, until you switch to your minigun and realize that 75% of your ammo is gone, permanently, which means no spam fire, no busting up sentries, and 75% less ammo from all ammo packs and dispensers. You've really got to use your minigun sparingly, if at all, if you're gonna run the big business. Buffed.
I actually forgot about the fucking Family Business. Shit. I said I was going to finish the whole fucking slot segment, whatever, but damn. Okay, so Death Machine. Yeah, press X to doubt on that one. Okay, so I'm not sure why he decided it would be a great idea for you to have fucking 5 or 7 ammo in a clip. Why 7? And not like 8, I don't know. The problem with heavy shotguns is that they are just shit. For heavy, it's literally better to try and find some ammo packs so that you won't have to deal with the shotguns, because on heavy they're pretty bad. Unlike Pyro or Soldier or Engineer, yeah, they're pretty good. On the heavy, not really, no. And that is a problem. The heavy should have his own like unique stock shotgun. There's like a big double barrel shotgun. So something that is like I guess a beefier version of the scar gun, you know, something like that, because that's really the closest or the only way that these shotguns on heavy can actually compete with the fucking sandwich items. Because without that, oh boy. But it's like, if you're gonna be playing Fat Scout, you better be fucking dedicated to that shit. So why have it be removed? In fact, this next one I'm gonna take from Jake Jakers. Why not have like, why not when equipping a lunch item, you then and then only can equip a shotgun? You know, why not something like that? And why not have the stock shotgun be for heavy be a lot bigger and beefier? In the family business, this, or excuse me, the big business as he calls it, is just so shit. I mean, this thing is just fucking ass. If you're gonna be playing shotgun heavy, then why not have this thing like increase your movement speed by like 10%, maybe 15%, and shave off like, I don't know, 50 max HP, not being able, and also have like, I don't know, fire, let's say 20% faster, and deal like 15% more damage, you know, something like that. But this, as the kids say, this ain't it, chief. It's like, why a speed boost for 1 second on hit? And oh, hold on, what the fuck do you say? Okay, yeah, so I did misremember a fucking small health pack. Why not have? So this is literally the big gunner on heavy, but a much worse version. Oh shit! I mean, is that the joke? Because from what I understand, within Mafia lingo, a big earner is somebody who earns a lot of money for the family. So, I guess, is that where his thought process went with this? Oh, by the way, the fact that we're almost done with heavy here. So, that's 5 minutes. Actually, that's slightly over 6 minutes. Remember what I said about it going down fucking hill immensely? At first, it's not too bad, but then it just goes off cliff. Oh boy, for the next one, you will want to fucking shoot yourselves. It is fucking unreal. I mean, why not have it like, give the heavy 3-second speed boost on kill, and why not restore like 30 HP on kill? You know, something like that. Why does it also have to go into Kenny Kane territory? Which is a bit interesting considering what he says about the next class.
Alright, well that was fun talking about heavy and all the goodies he got for Christmas this year, but buffs aren't the only thing I'm dishing out today. It's time to move on to a class that has had it too good for too long. These nerfs are long overdue. Some of you are gonna love this and just as many are probably gonna hate it, but let's just face the facts, it has to be done. It's time to nerf the sniper. All sniper rifles have their primary ammo capacity cut in half and now fire tracer rounds. Stealth is Spy's thing. I'm sick and tired of snipers hiding in the shadows getting cross-map insta-kills without anybody knowing where they are. And you might say that good communication fixes the problem of stealthy snipers, but it really does not. First of all, good communication is supposed to be Spy's counter. Sniper's counter is supposed to be good positioning, you know, staying out of his sight lines. And how are you supposed to position yourself accordingly if you don't know where the sniper even is? You can't expect an entire team to know every map's callouts just to deal with snipers. Calling out a spy is effortless. Spy is heavy, spy on carts, spy on sentry, spy at spawn, but snipers don't stick to landmark locations like carts or sentries. They could be anywhere on the entire map. If you're on Badwater and you say sniper on rocks, that could literally mean like 4 different things. And since they're a long-range class and Spy is a short-range class, actually getting to the position takes time, so they have a longer time to reposition than a Spy does. And so the stealth pick class, Spy, is easier to pinpoint verbally than the non-stealth pick class, Sniper. That is a massive fucking problem. If a spy kills you without you ever seeing him or knowing he exists, you think, man, what a good spy player. If a sniper kills you without you ever seeing him or knowing he exists, you think, Well, that's an annoying spot. How am I supposed to fight against that? I say no more. I've just had enough. The reduced ammo will force Sniper to reposition more often or pick sniping spots near ammo packs, making it easier to spot snipers and kill them while they reposition, and make it easier to predict where a sniper might be camping out at. The tracer rounds will also encourage a sniper to reposition more often so he's less predictable and allows players to actively consider enemy snipers' sightlines during combat instead of just being in the middle of a team fight and getting your head blown off out of nowhere. Because you get to see all the shots the sniper hits and the ones he misses, you're able to perform a little bit of mental calculus to deduce just how accurate this guy really is, what targets he's prioritizing, and what all he's really able to see from his position. Nerfed, 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 nerfed. And now it's time for the old switcheroo, the Hitman's Heatmaker, which is the exception to literally everything I just said, because this guy does not fire tracer rounds unless the focus ability is activated. I did, however, increase the body shot damage penalty from minus 20% to minus 66%. A normal sniper rifle does 150 damage on a fully charged body shot, and the Hitman's Heatmaker does 50. It is the weapon of the tryhards. If you're a truly elite sniper who never misses a shot, you won't notice any of the sniper nerfs as long as you use this weapon. But if you think this weapon sucks, then I have one recommendation for you. Get good. Nerfed. And if you're somebody who thinks about game design sometimes, you probably know that by giving every sniper rifle tracer rounds, it inadvertently buffs the Machina, which used to be the only rifle to have that downside. Which is why the Machina now slows down your move speed just a little bit to make up for all the extra damage you get to do. Nerfed. And now that I'm done being the bearer of based news, it's time to get to the fun stuff. Sniper secondaries. I'll start with the smallest change, the Cleaner's Carbine, which now has highly increased...
God damn it, hold on. Okay, so it's pretty clear that he doesn't like Sniper at all. And I gotta say, you are punishing the people that you're clearly talking about are the fucking 6,500 fucking I distinctive like a few burning flames painted fucking anger snipers that have 100,000 kills on their goddamn bot killer Australian festive sniper rifles. It's the experts. Why the fuck should the goddamn nooblet, the people who are kinda maybe okay at sniper, to being fucking awful at sniper, be punished for this shit? And it's like, how the fuck does decreasing the ammo on sniper by half over a sniper rifle status, how the fuck does that help anything? I mean, holy shit, that literally does not, do much. Okay, trace rounds, that's fucking annoying. But you know what, the whole thing about stealth. Sniper and Spy are assassins, and Assassin's best friend is stealth. The rest of our classes are mercenaries. Okay, if you want to say that stealth should be more Spy's thing, okay, fair enough, but to simply say that it's only Spy's thing is fucking retarded. That is absolutely goddamn ridiculous. How ridiculous is that exactly? Imagine this, right? Because this video is from 6 months ago, yeah. From 17.4 to 22.8, nice job. Okay, so imagine that fucking guy, what was his name, was that guy that tried to assassinate Donald Trump. Imagine instead of him climbing on the building, he literally came up to Donald Trump and the fucking tip of the barrel of his sniper rifle was 6 feet away from his head. You see what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's supposed to be more of spicing stealth, that is, because it's also Sniper's fucking job to be stealthy. Because that's, his job. He's supposed to be hidden. What the fuck? And also, this part right here, this is not the fault of fucking people. Calling out a spy or using fucking team chat or fucking anything is not just for spy. You can also call out a fucking medic, engineer, or more specifically his sentry, but it's like, it's not just made to fucking counter spy. Good communication I mean, it can also be used for a fucking sniper or a uber medic as well. But you know what? Fair enough. I mean, now should add no a fucking extra communication thing that like not just no calling out spy but also calling out fucking sniper. Also, this example is dog shit. This is not the fault of the fucking players or the fucking snipers. This is the fault of you just being bad at communicating. I mean, it's like saying there's a heavy on the ground. Oh, really? You'll say, why thank you, retarded supremas. That really helps a lot. It's like, oh, there's a sniper by the rocks. By the rocks. Okay, which fucking rocks exactly? It's like, is he behind the rocks that's the closest to where the cart starts? Is he by the rocks or that's closest to the fucking stairs? Is he on top of the rocks? To which he has his back towards the large fucking health and fucking ammo kit? Like, you see what I mean? It's like, you can't just say, oh look, there's a fucking sentry over there. It's like, how about you be very specific and tell your team exactly where that fucking sentry is at? Jesus. The only goddamn nerf that I would give to snipers, base sniper, is for all of the sniper rifles that don't have all the sniper rifles to deal 20% less body shot damage. That is the only downside that I would give fucking sniper, because it's not the fucking fault of the players that you suck against sniper, or rather, you're punishing the nooblettes who are the majority and not the pros who are the fucking minority, because most people play the game either mediocre or shit. And the people that you are being pissed off at are the fucking people who are actually good at the goddamn game. So no shit, you're gonna be encountering problems. I also love this part, the fact that he fucking uses the classic but he doesn't add it to the fucking list. Every single other sniper or the classic he talks about. Why not the classic? I mean, his changes actually make the classic fucking worse. That's actually incredible. I think that it was possible to make the classic even worse. Do you think that considering sniper silence will fucking help? I mean, it won't. I mean, especially since against spy, I have fucking been fighting so many times. I've been fighting the fucking teammates of the spy, and the motherfucker just sneaks up behind me and stabs me. So considering sniper silence is not going to be the most important thing that somebody will consider when they're fighting like fucking 50 enemies at the same time. I have one recommendation for you. Get good. Nice choice of words there. The He-Man Maker. I'm not even sure how to address this. It's like, what changes does it need? I mean, it does not need a fucking nerf. It's a pretty damn good sniper rifle. I mean, so good that it's the fucking, essentially the meta sniper rifle in goddamn MVM. So it's like, I'm not sure why he thinks that this sniper rifle is fucking awful, or that it's too powerful or whatever, but like, come on. Take a look at this part.
For rifle tracer rounds, it inadvertently...
I can't wait to talk about that one, about why the fuck the sniper is jumping 16 feet into the air. Okay, I guess I was wrong by around the 10-minute mark. Pretty much. That is where you might be asking questions of, is this a fucking troll video? Because it goes from being relatively normal with either kinda bad or pretty damn bad changes, and this is where it jumps off a fucking cliff. Okay, instead of fucking nerfing the goddamn machinas, okay, how about this? The fucking is a noticeable downside. I mean, if you decide to unscope shoot someone with the machina or with the goddamn zoom shit, while being able to zoom in just, oh wait, no, you can't. With the machina you cannot fire unless you're zoomed in. There is no a nerf. Unless you need to desperately rely on body shooting someone or shooting someone while not zoomed in. The only downside that the machina should fucking receive is like decreasing the fucking the amount of body shot damage that it deals. How about that? How about fucking that? I mean, I don't understand. Like, what the fuck? Ugh. Just give the Machina like a 15% body shot damage penalty. Oh, that's coming from my own opinion, of course, you know, because the City Sleeper should be the king of body shots. So by punishing people to just force them to focus on the fucking headshots, why not that? Why not all this useless shit?
And now that I'm done being the bearer of based news,
Based news for this. Yeah, no.
it's time to get to the fun stuff. Sniper secondaries. I'll start with the smallest change, the Cleaner's Carbine, which now has highly increased accuracy to make it more of a mid-range finisher weapon, distinguishing it from the SMG's close range capabilities. Buffed.
Yeah, I just checked 50 minutes and 46 seconds. Nice. Okay, so that changes towards the carbine. The problem with the carbine is still, like, increased the accuracy. Great. I mean, doesn't say by how much. Which I assume that this is something like, what, like 30-40%? Oh, he said greatly increased. So let's just say 50%. Which still is bad, because the carbine is really damn good in the VM, or when it comes to dealing with tanks. It's a tank shredder for a reason, but it's like the smaller clip and the fact that you shoot 25% slower. That is a kind of problem. I mean, it's cool now, the whole mini crit deal, but it's like, why not decrease the fucking downsides at least a little bit? Why not have it shoot like 15% slower and increase the accuracy by like 20% to at least make it a lot fucking better? I can dislike this Buffalo Stick Sandwich shit, where he ignores the more noticeable problems and gives a small fix. I mean, yeah, this is a nice buff, but people are more likely going to use the stock SMG than this. Oh wait, am I going to do it weapon by weapon? Oh, it seems so. Fuck it. Oh yeah, by the way, time to get to the fun stuff. Really, the fun stuff. Yeah, this is the part. Just over 10 minutes, and now it's about to go off a goddamn cliff. Oh wait.
Oh, weapon, distinguishing it from the SMG's close range capabilities. Buffed.
Wrong button.
Oh, and remember how fucking boring the Darwin's Danger Shield is? I mean, come on, fire resistance? Who cares? Instead of just giving some bland damage resistance to counter one random class in the game, I'm reinventing this item into what I call the Forester's Frog Skin. It'll protect you from danger, sure, but not by passively shielding you from one random class in the game. Instead, this thing gives you increased move speed, massively increased jump height, and 25 less max health. Remember what I said about wanting Sniper to reposition more? This thing will let you do that and then some. You can reposition yourself right in front of some dude's face and lodge an arrow into it, or simply jump back and forth between health packs and high ground. You can now go where no sniper has ever gone before. Nobody will see it coming, but they will be able to react strategically due to the tracer rounds, unless you use the heat maker, in which case I think I may have just unleashed the mother of all tryhards. Buffed.
Buffed. Yeah, buffed. Okay, fuck my rule beforehand. I'm just gonna do a weapon item by item. Something like this should not belong on like the Danger Shield. When I watched that Blues Roost video, I forgot who said, but or think that it was Great Blue himself, that he might be a big fucking timestamp fan, considering that something like this would be pretty interesting. Timestamps or anything that isn't official TF2, but this as a suggestion for how the fucking Danger Shield should be changed. Who cares about the damage, about the fire damage resistance? Pyro means like me care. I mean, it's like I'm not opposed towards weapons or items that counter a class, right? How like the Spice Skull counters Pyro, for example. But that does it infinitely better than this. than danger shield. I mean, it's like, how do you buff the danger shield? Like, fuck the immunity to fire. Just get increase amount of max. Just increase the max by 25. You can add back the 15% explosive damage vulnerability, but how about this? How about towards non-like ranged hit scan weapons, right? So have it have a like 15% bullet damage resistance. Of course, like sniper rifles or anything that can headshot, for example, will not be affected by this stat. You know, you could have something like that, not massively increased jump height. The Forster's frog skin, huh? The Forster's fucking... Why the fuck does it sound like foreskin? It went from a crocodile to a goddamn... to a motherfucking frog. Also, seriously, that jump height boost, that is greater, that is probably as great, if not greater than a Winger Scout's double jump.
One random class in the game, I'm reinventing.
One random class. Yeah, that seems... Yeah, no, that... Actually, I think it's even greater than that. Jesus. Greater jump height than a Winger Scout can manage. You've gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is the stat, or this is the item where things just go off, completely went off a cliff, and things just keep getting more and more ridiculous. Increased move speed as well. Poor bastard. Yeah, I would react the same way. It's like it's like being like a scout, for example. It's sneaking up on a sniper, and the motherfucker jumps 15,000 kilometers into the air while moving, I don't know what, like 10 or 15% faster, or however quickly he moves with this, because it doesn't say. He just says increased move speed. Could give us a number, but I'll probably leave the fucking game because something like this on like a goof off server is acceptable. As an actual change, fuck no. If these changes need to be implemented, they need some serious downsides. I mean, this literally just negates the downsides they made for the sniper rifle. The decrease in ammo, the trace rounds, that shit is out the goddamn window because of this. And again, repositioning isn't a problem for expert snipers, and this just makes it even fucking worse. Because now the motherfucker can not only jump high into the air, but the changes are mute, because at one moment he could be in one spot, he could headshot you, and next he could just jump away. Especially with increased max health, he could just jump the fuck away. And boom, he'll headshot you from a different spot. Good one. Nice. Here is, I believe, one of many contradictions.
The Razorback is getting a similar treatment. Instead of shielding you through mobility, this one actually will shield you passively. Not being able to be overhealed was kinda stupid, so I removed it. I understand why it was there. It was to prevent a sniper from being able to tank a bunch of revolver shots through the overheal while simultaneously being immune to backstabs. But don't worry, because I've removed the backstab immunity. It still discourages backstabs though, because it soaks your stabber in Jarate for 8 seconds, so if you're playing around your team, you are sure to be avenged quickly after your death. It also increases your max health by 25 like the danger shield used to. Now it's harder for a spy to stab you and harder for him to shoot you to death, but both are still possible, unlike with the old Razorback where it forced spies to use their revolver. The health bonus also means you get a little bit more out of health packs and can be overhealed to 225 health, which I think will combo nicely with the Huntsman and hopefully won't be too unfair to fight against. I mean, surely a pocket soldier is still going to be more dangerous than a pocket Huntsman sniper, right? I've also been calling this one the wet blanket instead of the Razorback because I just imagine Sniper wearing a huge pea-soaked blanket on his back that coats spies in Jarate for stabbing him. Nerfed, but only kind of.
It's fucking gross. But then again, you know what? Fucking fitting. Hold on. Did I actually make a mistake? Did he say plus 25 HP on that fucking dangerous shit? Oh, okay, I misremembered. minus 25 max health, which doesn't fucking mean anything still. Holy shit. You understand why the Razorback has like less overheal. I mean, the Razorback just sucks. I mean, it's used to counter Spy, but it's a pretty bad counter. It could at least do more, like, I don't know. I'm not going with this time because this legitimately just a different weapon, or item. I mean, an interesting item, but okay. Like, that's the thing. How do you make the Razorback, you know, better? I don't know, like, keep the, like, no overheal on wear, have it block backstab attempts, but also have it, like, I don't know, respawn after 20 or 30 seconds, let's say. And how about you take 20% less bullet damage from behind, you know, something at the very least. Because a sniper because if it's gonna be like something to, because you're gonna have an item that will be a counter to a class, it's supposed to be countering the class that use it, then you can at the very least have it be a little bit better than this. But the wet blanket, seriously? What the fuck? Okay, you know what, I think that this might actually be the only good item in this entire video, because it doesn't seem like it's too powerful or too good. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess it could be, you know, pretty good, I guess.
Nerfed, but only kind of. And now for the Cozy Camper, which is exactly the same as it used to be, except that it now puts your max ammo to a whopping 40, so that you can, you know, camp. If you somehow manage to surf a rocket into a crazy good sniping position, the Cozy Camper will let you heal back up like normal.
Bravo. Good one. Contradiction number 2 from what I remember. More to come.
And keep you well stocked up on ammo. Buffed.
Okay, so, you know, that's a pretty decent idea. I think that the Cozy Camper should, like, I don't know, regenerate like 1 ammo, maybe like every 5 seconds, you know. Something, you know, not too overpowered, but it's like, what the fuck? So, 240 ammo, so plus 27 ammo. I need to realize that part again. Okay, so something like a 210% increase in the sniper rifle's fucking ammo capacity, or plus 27 bullets. I would assume that also will work the same way on the damn bows. But also, the second contradiction in this video. What's the fucking point in increasing these snipers' goddamn max ammo capacity if you're just gonna do this? I mean, that is rather fucking, that is insane. I mean, what was the point of that? I mean, literally no fucking point. What? I mean, this just encourages fucking camping proper. Because not only do you regenerate health, you also fucking goddamn have an increase of goddamn, you have an increase of fucking ammo in your reserve. Good one. Nice.
Buffed. Alright, time to talk about a weapon that should be cool, but isn't. The Shahancha. A little extra damage when below half health and a little less when above, that's just kinda lame. It's not that impactful. So I changed each instance of 25% with 70%. That's right, 70% more damage when low on health, 70% less damage when you're healthy. That's 111 and 20 damage respectively. It is truly situational now. And of course, adding that much damage to any weapon means I've got to get rid of random crits. You know the drill, we can't have snipers one-shotting heavies with their melee, and it deploys slow and swings a little slower, so it's really not a get-out-of-jail-free card at all. You've got to be smart if you pull this thing out or else you're toast. But even with all the downsides, I still think it'll be better, or at least more fun, than the original Shahancha. It is a guaranteed 111 damage after all. That should make any scout or spy think twice about chasing you around that corner. Buffed.
Okay. So this essentially is a much more flawed, less good version of the equalizer. As in the old equalizer, as in the equalizer and the escape, and when they were one fucking weapon, when the thing would do up to 127 fucking damage at the lowest fucking health. This oh dear. Okay, so how would you buff the Shahancha? Remake it, because the fucking stats on paper, they sound pretty cool. You deal less damage when you're above half health, but you deal more damage when you're below half health. So in other words, you have to have your health just be completely shit on, just be completely non-existent to be able to use this. So what the fuck did I make? So my own idea of how I would fix it would be like, oh shit, would be like every time you lose 25% of your health, your damage is increased by 10% and your swing speed is increased by 5% to a maximum of plus 25, plus 20 faster swing speed and plus 45. Okay, never mind, so up to 45 increased damage and a 30% slower deploy. So to make the Shahancha work, you would have to make it so when you're below a higher amount of health, not 50, when you're below like, I don't know, 90, 80, 70% of your health, to actually make it worthwhile.
And speaking of spies, let's talk about the Tribalman's Shiv. In normal TF2, it's a decent way to reveal spies, but nowhere near as good as the Jarate. So I just leaned into the bleed a little more and made it do less damage on hit with longer bleed time, meaning it does 87 damage over the course of 10 seconds instead of 81 damage over the course of 6 seconds. 10 seconds is also how long how long Jarate lasts.
Ah, funny.
Just for reference. 4 extra seconds to chase down a spy will definitely come in handy, but it's not really doing any extra damage. Buffed.
So in other words, buffed. Yes, if you're delusional, then yes, buffed. Okay, these new stats might not shit, but oh my god, Valve for no reason nerfed the Tribalman's Shiv to an insane degree. Mate, Grouch, my dude, how is this a buff? The Tribalman's Shiv used to do 35% less damage for 8 seconds of bleed, then it was reduced to 6 seconds of bleed with minus 50% damage. Now you have 10 seconds worth of bleed, which all debuffs, including bleed, is cut in half by Spy's fucking cloak. When a Spy turns invisible, it's cut in half, and also minus 90% damage. I mean, that question that Great Blue or whoever was asked is a pretty good one. I mean, do you think that it's like the medieval era where you get your like leg cut open, you fucking bleed, then gangrene fucking forms, and then you die? Is that what's going on here? Because why do you think that bleed is so powerful? I mean, what the fuck is going on? If I didn't know any better, then I would assume that you may actually have like 50 hours in the game, because bleed is not that strong. Bleed actually stacks from different sources. Bleed is good on Scout, or bleed is good when it's used by Scout. On Sniper it's fucking horrible, especially since it literally has one option for causing bleed. Sniper is also the class with the worst melee selection except for one. Okay, maybe two. I mean, the stock cookery is not really that great, but it's definitely better than the fucking Shiv. Because this, why not have it like you hit somebody once, they bleed, you hit them again, you hit a bleeding enemy, that person that you hit, or another person who is bleeding, and boom, mini crits. So it's like, why have a like 20% damage penalty towards those who are not bleeding, and have your Shiv fucking cost them like 10 seconds of bleed. Outside is like guaranteed mini crits on fucking bleed. There we go, boom. Or also have it like, if you hit the same person who you hit before that is bleeding, you hit him again, then boom, that person is now fucking blink for 10 seconds no matter what. You know, something like that. Not decrease the fucking damage even more.
Extra damage. Buffed. Whew.
Nope.
Alright, that was a lot of changes for just Sniper and Heavy, but I think we can all agree that those are the classes that needed them the most. These next ones will be a lot faster, like Soldier. I mean, I might be biased because
it's rather interesting that he doesn't bring up the fucking Zero Sure at all. I mean, and the Zero Sure on Pyro Dennis is so fucking bad that it's literally the only way to fucking fix it is to have like Zero Sure be the first and only split weapon, so that Soldier and Pyro have their own version of it. I wonder why he doesn't like fucking talk about that. In fact, he doesn't talk about shit like fucking gas pass with a hot hand. Good lord. Or even the man melter. It's like, where the fuck is the man melter? I mean, he's about to talk about the Righteous Bison. Great. Good job, Mr. Soldier Main. The Righteous Bison, the only soldier I am that you talk about in this fucking video. And I even like the paint train as well. Not that the paint train is like necessarily horrible, but it's like so underpowered. Especially since they want fucking soldier have many greater options than just that one. Then the paint train. Melee options, that is.
he's my most played class, but I can't think of a single weapon he has that doesn't work the way it should. Moving on to Scout. I'm just playing with you, alright? You didn't think I'd forget the weakest weapon in the game, did you? The Righteous Bison? This thing sucks. So I quadrupled its fire rate to have a kind of net-like effect where you catch enemies. You know, like you're creating a wall of projectiles rather than trying to actually aim individual shots, which proves to be completely impossible with this weapon. Now it actually has a mid-range use of pushing a sniper out of his nest or breaking up a big cluster of enemies, instead of just being, you know, the fucking worst weapon in the game. It's still not going to be out damaging your rocket launcher though, so don't get any big ideas. It should be fun to play with though. Buffed.
I exactly agree that it's the worst weapon in the game. I mean, have you seen the man melter? I mean, I can't exactly see like gas master is the worst, because that thing is fucking so powerful in the MVM. And I was also going to say, like, does the Bison do 31 damage? But no, that other shot, it was fucking, what was it, 30? Yeah, 30 damage, so a net-like effect. The only way that something like this could be balanced is if you have like the 8 damage penalty, because there's no way that you can have a projectile weapon deal a lot of damage or fucking shoot so goddamn quickly and reload so quickly without having like 8 damage penalty, especially when like has a like web in terms of attack. No, you just shoot out any goddamn web of projectiles. Actually, I need to calculate some shit. Okay, no, I was mistaken. Those shots towards the fucking heavy, the second shot was a fucking critical hit. So never mind. Okay, so the only thing that you need to do to a Bison is to revert it to how it was before. Or if you're going to buff it, while having like deal like the same amount of damage from like any range as a rocket, so not any damage, no, the stock rocket from the rocket launcher, and have it like pierce like up to 4 enemies, and have the damage like decreased by like 10 to 15% per each person you penetrate, and keep the same projectile speed that it used to have. And I mean, I guess no, increase the real speed by like 10-15%, no, something much better than this. But that is a buff. I'm not sure this will be a ridiculous weapon. This weapon will be like broken, but good lord, this will be just so fucking useless. Well, not useless. Shit. Well, no, not useless, but actually no. Actually, yeah, this is actually the best buff in the video. And it still has problems. Nice.
It should be fun to play with though. Buffed. Okay, now it's time for Scout, for real this time. Again, you might hate me for saying this, but I think Scout doesn't have a single overpowered weapon. I am making this for you guys though, so if you all really think the Force of Nature or Criticola need to be changed, I'm willing to work with you guys there. But for right now, I'm just gonna change the need to be changed. I'm willing to so if you all really think the Force of Nature or Criticola need to be changed.
Criticola, yeah, the Force of Nature, like completely buffed or completely nerfed. Okay, and yeah, I agree that like the Force of Nature should probably not do as much damage as it does. But also knowing this guy, I am kind of scared because whilst fighting as a Force of Nature scout as heavy is fucking hellish against one that knows how to use it, I would hope that you wouldn't fucking nerf it to the ground, which you probably would. Good lord.
I'm willing to work with you guys there. But for right now, I'm just gonna change the candy cane and call it a day. Instead of 25% more damage from explosives, which ends up making this thing too situational, I'm just gonna go all the way and give him 25 less health for equipping the item. And to balance it out and make this thing actually fun, I've made it so that the health packs enemies drop when you kill them now fully heal you, along with every other health pack in the game. Meaning as long as you don't take too much damage all at once, you could theoretically go on a total rampage with this thing. Or a sugar rush, if you will. Buffed.
One moment. Actually, wait. I'm trying to do calculations for this. No. Oh my god, so instead of taking 25% more explosive damage, which yeah, okay, so that 112 damage stock rocket with max ramp up would deal 140 damage, but oh boy, this is essentially worse in any regard, because now a Devilman pill can one-shot you. You are even more fucked with a fucking meat shot. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I saw point blank 11 to 105. Okay, now I saw you can literally be one shot with a point blank scare gun shot. Okay, so a regular scout could fucking destroy you. A soldier now has a much easier time against you, especially at max ramp up. You are so fucked with this thing. I mean, why do this? Why nerf it like this? I was like, okay, great, so now it fully heals me. Yeah, great, it fully heals me. I will take more damage from explosives. I just get killed by pretty much fucking everything now. A scout, a soldier, a Devilman they can get up close to me and they can fucking destroy me even more easily. What the fuck is he doing? Okay, so my suggestions on like how to fix this. I'll fix his changes firstly, like why the scout being like fully overhealed after he picks up a fucking health pack from an enemy that he killed to counteract the fucking health decrease. Or fuck the extra damage penalty, fuck this like minus 25 max health. Have all health packs healed the scout 20% more. So the scout gets 20% more health from health packs. And have like, I don't know, something like a 50% universal weapon switch speed decrease. And have this thing like swing 20% slower, you know. I don't know, anything really. So the scout went from being vulnerable to being even more vulnerable.
And for the third class that barely gets changed, Demo Man. I'll be honest, I'm just gonna buff the shit out of the Caber and move on with my life. No more damage nerf. In fact, there's a damage buff.
Move on with my life. Move on with your life. What do you mean in terms of all of his weapons you're gonna fucking nerf? Or change? Because it's the Caber and it's also the Iron Bomber that you're gonna change. Or maybe he meant that as in, I'm just gonna talk about like this one, just move on to the next one. actually, that is making sense here. I mean, did he like misspeak? Maybe you should have edited that fucking part out of there.
Triple damage to buildings, you heard me. I want to live in a world where Demo Man can charge headfirst into a distracted sentry gun and destroy everything in the vicinity, including himself. This one definitely needs playtesting.
Notice how if he did have Uber on him, he would have been fucking shredded.
But I'm praying to God that it works the way I want it to, because this image is just hilarious to me. The next change might be considered a downside, but really it's just another upside, which is that the Demo Man's Ullapool Caber deals more damage to himself, enough to guarantee that the Demo Man dies even if he's overhealed. Now normal, sane people will see this as a downside, but Caber users are not normal, sane people. They don't want to live after they've lost their Caber. That's all they've got going for them. It's the only thing they care about. Dying immediately after using it just means you get to respawn quicker, which means you get your charge replenished faster, which means more cabering. It's all upsides in Caber Town. Also, it gets random crits now. Fuck you. Buffed. Oh, and you know how the Iron Bomber is like super boring and barely changes anything from the normal grenade launcher? Well, it's the Carpet Bomber now. Buffed.
That's Christ. Okay. Yo, this is a perfect screen. The way you can buff the Ullapool Caber is go back on the debuffs that Valve gave, or not debuffs, the changes that I gave it, and we are to be dealing with this version. And why I'd have excuse me again, why I'd have the Ullapool Caber, like when you deploy it, why I'd have it like decrease the amount of knockback that you take. Also, you gave Demo Man a building busting weapon, which also he didn't destroy that spent those behind the sentry, so the explosion radius has not been changed. I mean, it's like, it's not the grenade launcher, or fucking the goddamn lock and load, or most of Demo Man's sticky bomb launchers could actually deal with sentries. I mean, it's not like he inspired, pretty much made to destroy sentry nests. So why give him this weapon? Why change it? Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, that's why. This is such a shit change. And we are to change the Ullapool Caber when I have it like, you hit somebody with it, it explodes, and like after 20-30 seconds it comes back. And why not have it deal 25%? Why not have it like be able to like one shot in light class? You know, something, anything really. Don't give it a crit boost, have it deploy like 30% slower and have it like, hit people like 20% slower, 30% slower, something like that. I don't know. I mean, anything really rather than this. Also the Carpet Bomber. The Iron Bomber is as good as it is now, and this, what the fuck is this? Oh, fire to low. Wow, these are actually good stats for a completely different weapon. I am not sure why he hates the Iron Bomber so much. He's sure fucking... Okay, he says it's super boring. It's not really that boring. Completely, but okay. Fixing TF2's terrible weapons. How is this a terrible weapon? I mean, being boring and being terrible is not the same thing.
Well, it's the Carpet Bomber now. Buffed. And since these
buffed in what way? I mean, because this is literally just, the weapon is changed to a point where it's a new weapon. So I guess it's buffed from the previous version? I don't fucking know.
These Demo Man buffs might bother some engineer mans. I'll now. Buffed. And since these Demo Man buffs might bother some engineer mans,
might. You would say.
I'll go ahead and tell you about the Texans' new toys. The Pumpson now fires faster, like the Reg's Bison, but not as fast, and reloads slower. And instead of draining Uber and Cloak, it just drains twice as much Cloak now. There is just no fucking reason engineers should be capable of single-handedly destroying an Uber push on his own goddamn sentry. Since spies can get a ton of Cloak from destroyed buildings, this shouldn't be too annoying for spy players unless they're using the dead ringer, in which case if you don't have the dead ringer active, it's gonna disable it for a couple of seconds, and if you do have the dead ringer active, you're gonna get about, 1 millisecond of cloak before the engineer comes at you with his wrench. I think it's about time we saw some dead ringer counterplay from engineer, don't you? Buffed. Okay.
I don't understand, like, realistically, like, who the fuck, how would this deal with a medic? I mean, the thing is that a medic who overextends to this insane degree would probably be dealt with by a combat engineer, which the Thompson is not really, it's not exactly a combat engineer type of weapon. And also, like, as if fucking spies don't put themselves into danger enough, so to fuck them over with these changes, I mean, the increase projectile speed, the increase in everything else, okay, sure, but it's still not good enough, because let's be honest, even with these changes, you are more annoying to spies than medics. I mean, if you have like the balls to walk up to a fucking medic, if a spy is near you, you're probably going to, you'll have a better chance of just fucking using your goddamn wrench and just whacking the fucker.
Time to make every engineer main watching this very angry. The Jag is too strong, it just is, everyone uses it, and for
overpowered? Yeah, no.
good reason. The repair penalty is barely even a penalty due to the increased swing speed. I think the Jag should be great at getting buildings up quick, but bad at keeping them up. So I increased the repair rate penalty from -25% to -40%. You can still use the Rescue Ranger to repair quickly, so this shouldn't be too bad, but I'm really tired of the Jag reigning supreme over all the other wrenches. Nerfed.
Any weapon that needs to function properly with the use of another weapon is a sign of, damn, this fucking sucks. I mean, the Jag is well balanced. In fact, the Jag, how the fuck is like a Jag the most used wrench? Well, I mean, probably. My thing is that the stock wrench is also really damn good, and nerfing it to the point where, I mean, to be fair, that was a direct shit soldier, but oh boy, those changes are legitimately fucking horrible. The Jag is as good as it is, don't change it. And these changes, they are too fucking harsh. I mean, granted, the stock rocket launcher doesn't do as much damage as the direct hit, but the thing is that with like, what, 6 rockets? Like 5? Maybe even with a full fucking clip, you'll be able to fucking destroy a goddamn sentry. These changes are fucking horrid. They are too goddamn extreme.
Due to the increased swing speed, I think the Jag should be great at getting buildings up quick, but bad.
Okay, so
Due to the increase.
okay, let's see how much damage does that deal. Oh boy, that is less than half fucking health. Okay, so from 216 HP down to, let's say it took down 40 or 55% of its health. I mean, then again, what the fuck am I calculating? Okay, so minus 118.8 HP with a single fucking shot. That is fucking shit. I mean, how much do you say? Minus 45% repair penalty from minus 25%. The increased swing speed. What? Okay, so does the repair penalty not mean that you spend that the amount of like metal that you need to swing to fucking repair a building, does that not increase it? What? What? Okay, so he misspoke. It's not you repair the buildings 25% slower, it's 20% slower. But it's like a 15% faster firing speed or swing speed or whatever. I mean, that is a fucking penalty. What the fuck is he even saying at this point? Oh, okay, never mind. It's you heal the building slower, okay. Okay, so for swing they regain less fucking health, alright? And to like these stats sound like they could be maybe good retooled a lot for a new weapon, because these are more stats for a new fucking weapon. I mean, this is just a Jag, but much worse.
You can still use the Rescue Ranger to repair wrenches. Nerfed. Hopefully this change will give other wrenches a chance, like the Southern Hospitality. It's
Look at this.
my personal favorite and the one I always
I wonder why it's your personal favorite.
use. No spy expects you to pull this thing out, so it's hilarious to smack him in the face with crazy damage and watch him squirm away bleeding.
No spy expects you to pull us out because it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I think it's honestly one of the most underrated weapons in TF2, and hopefully with this Jag change, that will stop being the case. The Southern Hospitality remains unchanged.
Yeah, maybe at the start of the video you could have said like which weapons you're not changing, because why mention if you're not going to change it? I mean, you hit someone and they bleed for like several seconds. They bleed for how long? 5 seconds. No random crits, of course, and you take, oh, not 30, 20, you take 20% more fire damage. This thing needs to be completely fucking retooled, because it's like, oh, okay, so these stats, they fucking suck. I mean, it's like, okay, so a spy bleeds for 5 seconds, oh, excuse me, 2.5 seconds, and then you have to deal with the fact that you take more fire damage. Go watch After Breakfast weapon rebalance video for the engineer. The one where he completely retooled how this fucking one works. You are overestimating a lot, my friend, as to how, quote, good the Southern Hospitality is.
And now it's time for us to discuss what, in my opinion, is the most hair-wrenching stat in all of TF2.
Oh, Jesus.
The Eureka Effect's 20% metal penalty. I hate this stat so much. It is so unforgiving. A medium ammo pack used to give you everything you needed for a dispenser, but not with the Eureka Effect. A
It used to give you everything that you need. Okay.
large ammo pack doesn't even let you fully upgrade your sentry or dispenser. What is this chicanery? It's so unfun to use, and it throws off your entire engineer rhythm. The taunt teleportation, granted, is awesome, but I never once in my life have used this weapon with a smile on my face, except for during weird ninja-neering shenanigans that only really work if you don't build a teleporter entrance, which makes your whole team look at you like you're an asshole. And the construction
Oh, you didn't censor that one now, did ya? Yeah, he has problems throughout this video. It's like, at times he censors his fucking cussing, other times he doesn't. Fucking be consistent then. I mean, yeah, I was gonna do it from this, like, a bit later from this point, but why? I mean, already more than halfway through the fucking video.
speed boost penalty is fine, but I think a more fun wrench would look something like this. Keep the cheaper teleporters, keep the taunt teleportation feature, make teleporters two-way, you heard that right, two-way, and make teleporters build 50% faster. This opens up all kinds of team-oriented teleporter shenanigans and will ideally make payload and 5CP maps more fun, since your old teleporter exit can become your new teleporter entrance. It's clearly the teleporting man's wrench, so it only has one downside. Sentries fire half as fast, meaning half damage and half knockback. And they're just as expensive to build, so this is really a kick in the lug nuts. I imagine this new Eureka effect being great with cooperative engineering, giving all the engineers on your team the ability to teleport back to spawn through your two-way teleporters and resupply their metal while they focus on keeping up the sentries. You could even do things no engineer has ever thought to do, like not placing the teleporter entrance at spawn and instead placing it somewhere on the battlefield itself, essentially allowing your team's heavies to be in two places at once, or having an elevator between high ground and low ground. I'm really happy with this design, and while it may not be perfect, I'm hoping you guys can give it a shot and let me know what works and what doesn't.
Okay. I cannot I cannot see how that won't backfire horribly. I mean, two-way teleports, okay, that sounds good, but also you need to remember that, like, what if a fucking spy, like, walks over it, disguises it, and just constantly hogs the fucking teleport, and you're just gonna have to deal with being fucking telefragged. I mean, what then? Or not even like a spy. What would happen if, like, one of your teammates was doing that shit? I can imagine that this will be abused a lot. Not to mention that, like, okay, yeah, I mean, the only stat that I would really fucking want maybe removed or tuned down a lot was the construction speed. I mean, seriously, fucking 50% fucking decrease in construction speed. That is retarded. That is fucking stupid. I mean, 20% less ammo, yeah, I know that's acceptable, because the thing is that as a Eureka effect engineer, like, this is the wrench that I use on my main engineer loadout. And you know it's bad because the fact that I have to say that this list is that this weapon change to the lower ass is definitely a sign of, oh boy, you done fucked it up. And I mean, yeah, he did. Like, keep the Eureka effect currently as is, except decrease the construction speed decrease by, like, all the way down to, like, minus 20%, minus 15%. I mean, and maybe add, like, the ability to, like, teleport back to spawn and be right next to a fucking, like, health cabinet. A resupply cabinet, that is. You know, this change is, like, it's pretty pointless. What is this chicanery? What the fuck is going to be next? Oh boy.
Alright, now it's spy time. I'm hoping you guys can give it a shot and let me know what works and what doesn't. Alright, now it's spy time, and
one of the weapons that rebalances for spy is the weapon that is the rebalance that actually made this fucking list a goddamn meme. I can't wait for y'all to see the disaster that's about to unfold.
these changes are my favorite. Remember when I said that a select few weapons in TF2 are legitimately overpowered? Well, my friend, most of them belong to Spy.
Most of them belong to Spy, huh? I would like to disagree. I mean, belong to Spy, like, the only one that really is the closest to being overpowered is the Diamondback. The Dead Ringer is really goddamn annoying to deal with, but to try and make it seem like the Spy has the most overpowered weapons. No.
First, the Diamondback, which gets you a full-blown crit every time you stab someone or sap a building. You might think of it as similar to the Frontier Justice, but they are actually exact opposites. The Frontier Justice gives you crits when your sentry gets destroyed based on how many kills it had, meaning as an engineer, your damage only goes up immediately after your damage and defenses went down. One goes up, one goes down. Yin and yang, push and pull, that's called game balance. The Diamondback doesn't fucking do that at all. It increases your damage when their damage gets decreased. You get crits when their heavy gets stabbed, when their sentry goes down.
Your damage increases when your cat gets kicked. It increases when they fuck your mother. Okay? Alright?
Being an engineer with a destroyed nest already sucks, but being an engineer with a destroyed nest sitting next to a spy with 4 insta-kill bullets in his gun is much
Insta-kill, 102 damage. I mean, if the engineer has below 102 HP, then yes.
much worse. I'm all for snowball weapons that reward you for doing well, but look at the Eyelander or the Bizarre Bargain, for instance. These take time to snowball. You have to really prioritize survival to see any benefits from these weapons. The Diamondback doesn't even encourage survival. It's like, well, I have all my crits now, I guess it's time.
Nice example. how, okay, a spy is going to be lucky to get, at the very, or at least a mediocre or even a shit spy is going to be lucky to get like 3 to 2 fucking critical hits in their Diamondback. You found fucking 20 critical hits off of a friend engineer's teleporter. Like, come on. I mean, this thing is strong, but also this thing is really strong in the hands of somebody who knows how to use it. I mean, it needs a nerf, but also it's not like extremely fucking powerful. It's overpowered? Not really. Is it pretty strong? Yeah. Yeah.
Time to fucking use my ultimate ability by running headfirst into the enemy team, killing 3 random people, and then dying immediately. That isn't the role of a stealth class, that's fucking Reaper from Overwatch. I'm fine with this being the damage gun, but Jesus Christ, that's just too much damage.
Okay, so... oh shit. A smart spy player would be able to not waste those shots. If you are able to get like even 1 fucking crit, you should be like saving that up. Not like immediately using it unless you got like fucking 30 goddamn 1,000 of them.
So with that in mind, I am proud to introduce you to the Diamond Back-to-Back. It's
A what?
So with that in mind, I am proud to introduce you to the Diamond Back-to-Back. It's just
That's a cringy name, but go on.
just like the normal revolver, except it's only got 2 bullets. But if you manage to take someone out with the first bullet, then you've got 1 second of critical hits, enough time to fire the last bullet and take out a second target before escaping. And no, you won't be able to chain together crits because the reload time is actually a little longer than the crit time. The crit itself will do 120 damage, so if you've got a weak player and a semi-weak player in your sights, you can dispose of them both in less than a second if you really know what you're doing. Think James Bond double taps. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, doesn't this kind of discourage the spy's enemies from protecting their weak players since getting close to a weak player might mean they get double killed? And yeah, it does. That's the point. The spy's disguise kit already makes the enemy team not trust their teammates and not want to get near them because they might get backstabbed, and the Diamond Back-to-Back pushes that concept even further. With this new design, I'm hoping that a spy can break the enemy team's psychology just as well as he can stab their backs. I absolutely adore the idea for this item, but I can totally see it being broken in practice, so you guys will again have to try it out and let me know. Nerfed.
Nerfed to a point where it's pretty damn weak. I mean, 2 shots in the clip, crits on fucking kill. Okay, hold on. So, how would you reasonably? Okay, so the Diamondback and the Frontier Justice are more closely related than you give them credit for. I mean, the thing is that a sentry needs to kill somebody first, and with this thing, you can just, I don't know if you're. Because I would probably imagine maybe it'd be a bit easier to play spy, you know, than engineer, because I mean, if you're lucky and you have like a bunch of dipshits that like run towards your sentry and get fucking gunned down, well, whoop-de, you have revenge crits. As in, your sentry needs to be destroyed if it has any kills. If it's killed anyone and your sentry is destroyed, then boom, you have revenge crits. That is a bit harder to get than you know, fucking sapping shit or, you know, backstabbing people. Okay, I just checked something and I said to myself that I'm now going to quote what he has said in his like spy rebalance video. Yeah, this is the follow-up video to the one that I'm covering right now. Oh boy, so in that one he made the Diamondback even worse by essentially making it a worse stock and a shittier ambassador. And he also said that he wanted to revert to pre-Jungle Inferno ambassador, or the ambassador to its pre-Jungle Inferno form. Nice. go on a minute-long spiel about how the sniper should not be in spy's territory with stealth, and you want the fucking spy to be, and you want the spy to be marching into sniper's territory. By your own logic, no. Remembering when I watched the Great Blues video, there were several people, and one of those people being the What Show, who mentioned that apparently Grouch's videos are usually well researched, which I gotta say this one is a fucking shit show. This is the first time that I have heard of Grouch, but this video is definitely not well researched. It is a complete mess. Okay, now as to how would you nerf the Diamondback? I'm essentially taking the ideas from After Breakfast and Jig Jakers, pretty much. So keep the damage penalty and have the fucking and have the spy, no matter which class the spy is disguised. If the spy is disguised as an engineer, for example, and he is wielding the Diamondback, then it should be glowing. Then should be glowing the critical color of that fucking team in particular. And also the spy should deal like 15% less damage while disguised. You know, something better than this I already know.
Sites, you can dispose of them both in less than a second if you really know what you're doing.
Yes, we've noticed that.
Think James Bond double taps.
Where are we? Science shit, blah blah.
Alright, moving on to Spy's other broken weapon, the Conniver's Kunai.
Broken.
Here's how the old version worked, or didn't work, rather. You sneak around with low health until you get a backstab, and upon a successful backstab, immediately gain a ton of health to help you escape. The problem here is that, and this may come as a surprise to you, Spy can go invisible, so avoiding taking damage before a backstab is actually not that hard, almost inevitable for any half-decent Spy player. The health gain on a backstab, however, is incredibly useful, significantly protecting the Spy after getting a kill, especially when used in combination with the Dead Ringer. The weapon's downside does not have as big of an impact as its upside.
You wanna run it by me one more time, buddy?
By definition, weapon's downside does not have as big of an impact as its upside, by definition making it unbalanced. And here's another shocking revelation: Spy is not a tank. Giving him the health pool of a Pyro or Demoman anytime he's in danger distances him from his core design mechanic of stealth. Cause who needs stealth when you can take 2 rockets to the face like they're stale Cheetos? And to top it all off, we already have a knife that helps Spy escape after backstab.
Good one. Nice Spy playing against bots.
The Big Earner, which is more interesting, more fun to play against, and more fun to use. So what did I do about the kunai? Well, I might have actually made it worse. Please do not hate me for this. I turned it into a throwing knife. Just hear me out, okay? It was already one of the most unbalanced weapons in the game, right? So I'm willing to get experimental and try out this potentially crazy overpowered design. I think it'll work, but I could see it totally blowing up in our face. It's just a little more melee range, that's it, right? You've still only got 70 health with no health regen, plus it deploys a little slower too. It could be balanced, right? I mean, maybe, who the hell knows? Nothing like this has really been tried before for Spy. But remember all those cool throwing knife designs on the Steam Workshop? Didn't you ever wonder what could have been?
Maybe they weren't implemented in game for a reason.
The kunai already looks like a throwing knife,
Okay, one moment. Okay, so how the fuck would a throwing knife work in TF2? Well, on Spy, probably not. Probably don't give him a throwing knife because I'm not sure if you can balance it to a point where it's good on Spy, but also it's balanced enough towards where it wouldn't be overpowered. But also, thanks to Jake Jacobs for this information, but So apparently a fucking kunai is a fucking farming tool first and foremost. You know, similar to a sight. How a sight is used for you know, being able to cut grass. It just so happens they can be, you know, used like a weapon. I mean, the thing is that a kunai is a fucking farming tool first and a weapon second, much like a goddamn kitchen knife. Tool first, weapon second.
Took it a step further and actually made it one. I'll be honest, the rest of the balance changes I've made in this are, you know, based on logic, based on experience, based on good design principles.
And all three of those things you haven't applied. Well, for most of the weapons, well, or for some of the weapons, well, at least.
But this one, I just kind of vibed out. I'm sorry if it sucks, we can always change it later if we need to.
That fucking rage is absurd. Jesus Christ. The only like buff that I could give the kunai is like, I don't know, maybe have the overheal delay with DK like maybe 20% more 20% slower, because you're giving up nearly half your health to be able to absorb the health of your victim and also go to an overheal. I know already you need to be a pretty damn good spy, or someone who's good at like sneaking up on people, because goddamn, that 70 base health is nothing to sneeze at. You are going to get your ass fucking raped.
Nerfed, I hope.
I don't even know if that's a nerf or like a load of shit.
Alright, time to get back to the realm of reality.
And this is the one where the video became a complete fucking joke. The poor bastard fucking enforcer.
The enforcer is pointless and it's time for it to be changed.
Take a look at the ammo. And it's about to get even worse. Or a clip in the ammo.
Forget everything you know about the enforcer. I'd like to introduce you to l'exécuteur. You'll never guess what that's French for. With this thing, you've got 1 bullet per clip, less damage, less reserve ammo.
Why yes, that was 2 damage.
And 2 times slower reload speed. Pretty good so far, huh?
Pretty good so far. Yeah, good. So where you got fucked over by 2 men. Nice.
It only has one upside. Slower reload speed. Pretty good so far, huh? It only has one upside too. On hit, bleed for 8 seconds.
Bleed. All the fucking bleed. You would think that you would balance that as in for all those downsides that the bleed will last on maybe like up to 10 seconds and you can't get rid of it unless the bleed time fucking ends. Nope.
That's 64 damage, way less DPS than the normal revolver. You might be thinking that it'd be impossible to get any meaningful kills with this thing, and you know, you'd probably be right. But maybe you don't need to. Hit a sniper with this bullet and he'll bleed for 8 seconds, taking up to 64 damage if he doesn't find a health pack. Yeah, that's less damage than shooting him with the normal revolver, but this isn't about damage.
And you acknowledge it. And yet the fucking bleed.
The sniper will be bleeding for 8 seconds.
Oh no! He'll be mildly inconvenienced. Oh, the horror.
Which means flinching for 8 seconds.
Minor inconvenience at best. Minor inconvenience at best and worst.
Are you starting to get the picture? Sniper already has the ability to disable Spy's cloak for 10 seconds with the Jarate or the Tribalman Shiv, and now l'exécuteur turns the tables. It lets Spy disable Sniper's aim for 8 whole seconds. But don't worry, snipers, you can always equip the Cozy Camper to avoid flinching if this becomes a real problem. Buffed.
That literally is not a buff. That is a nerf. That is a gigantic fucking nerf. Jesus. Oh boy. Oh, where do I start? Okay. Firstly, flinching is really not that big of a goddamn issue. I mean, the thing is that, yeah, it's annoying, but it's annoying at worst. the thing is that you can still, fire because, or that you can still shoot your goddamn gun or attack people. But the thing is that, I mean, with a cozy camper, or like, if you have like a dispenser, a medic, or like go to a health pack, then well, it's gone. I mean, as a spy, you are much more fucked because you're gonna be, very much within the territory of the enemy to get any use out of this thing. So to get off piss, to get off the Jirai effect off, to get the Jirai effect off yourself, it's gonna be it's gonna be harder. I mean, even with cloak, but you're still gonna be in a very rough shape because you're most likely going to be in the enemy's territory. A sniper, even a combat sniper, the vast majority of them are not going to be within the enemy's territory. So this is a false equivalence. False equivalences aside, you increase the oh shit, that bleed is so fucking bad. Minus 99% damage penalty. What a motherfucking, I don't even know. Like at the end of this video, there's gonna be a list. There's gonna be a showcase of like all the stats for all these weapons. Which, you know what? You should have fucking put them on the screen as you was talking about this. So the format of this video was pretty bad. I mean, my videos are bad. Fucking, they're an absolute mess. But I think I said this guy. You would think that he were putting at least slightly more effort, somewhat more effort into that, but guess not. And the minus 65% clip size penalty or ammo capacity penalty, actually both. So we have 8 shots in storage. To reload, you reload, what was it, 30% slower, and you also fucking have 1 shot in a clip. This, legitimately, how the fuck does he think that this is balanced? It's like, this is not balanced. The only way this could be balanced is like, you have 3 shots in a clip, you have like 30 shots in storage, you can shoot like 15% faster, and you can like mini crit people that they are fucking bleeding, That's how his changes, but the Enforcer, like, it's not as powerful as it used to be. It used to be fucking OP as shit. It did? Wait, what the fuck is the penalty? Okay, yeah. A flat 20% damage increase and a 0.5 second increase in time they takes the cloak. Let you know downside with the Dead Ringer. This thing needed a goddamn nerf. I would disagree with it there, but how would you buff the current one? I don't know, have it like return a 20% damage bonus, but make it for like 15% slower. No, something better than this fucking mess.
You can always equip the Cozy Camper to without discussing Pyro becomes a real problem. Buffed. And how can we talk about Spy without discussing Pyro?
This is where shit goes downhill. Whoa. These changes are something else. Take a look at how we changed the fog.
And what would a Pyro discussion be if we didn't bring up everybody's favorite flamethrower, the Phlogistinator? This weapon is going to be unchanged, because I don't think the Phlogistinator is the guilty party here.
I mean, even still. Like, yeah, it's gonna talk about the scorch shot, or excuse me, the scorch shit. But it's like, but still, why measure the flog if you're not gonna change it? Yeah.
The flog is the fall guy.
I would still argue that the Phlogister could use a buff or 2. That's the thing. I put it on this list. Okay, whatever. You can maybe like, I mean, how would you buff the current fog? Just a slight buff. Maybe make it maybe give it no air blast, but minus 8% knockback that people take from being air blasted. Then have the fucking go off after you fucking taunt. Something simple. But let's take a look at how he changes the scorch shit.
The real culprit is the Scorch Shot. This thing sucks to play against. All a pyro has to do is aim in the general direction of the enemy team and left click, and within moments his flog meter will now be filled up and ready to go. No more, I say. I'm gonna totally turn this thing upside down. Meet the new scorch shot, or as I call it, the Firefly. Wait, don't click off the video. I know it looks terrible. I know it looks like total bullshit, but I promise it's
Which part? The fact that now it's a piece of shit, or the fact that at first glance it looks OP? Which one?
not that bad. These flares barely do any damage. It's all just in the
Oh, the second one, okay.
afterburn. And look at them. They don't move very fast at all either. And good luck trying to actually aim the damn thing. They go all over the place.
And you didn't think that this would be a problem?
The point of this weapon is to let Pyro do what the Scorch Shot was already making the Pyro do, which is to just aim in the general direction of the enemy team and hold down left click, but with a better result. Armageddon fire on big groups of enemies to cause maximum chaos from a distance. It's not actually gonna kill anybody. Imagine raining down
At least easily kill anybody.
Armageddon on an enemy push while a couple Huo long heater heavies sit behind you ready to pick off anybody hit by the flares. Or imagine just shooting a couple of these bad boys into a room, running in with the extinguisher, and just praying to God that one of them hits something.
Was that a showcase, or did you actually try to do something there?
These new flares, or fireflies, are really just an inconvenient distraction. They're not hard to dodge at all if you're paying attention to them. But you do have to pay attention to them. I really think this will still manage to be less annoying than the old Scorch Shot. Maybe that makes me look like an idiot, but I don't care. Nerfed.
This is like the biggest bazooka on Pyro, but 5 million times worse. Oh yeah, by the way, my voice is starting to give out. I am not used to talking for this long. Okay, how would you nerf the Scorch Shot? I don't know, decrease the afterburn length by like 50%, decrease the, give it like instead of 35% damage penalty, give it like a 50% damage penalty. Something, I mean, the Scorch Shot is annoying, but without the fog, how many people will actually be using it? It's the guilty party. I mean, at bare minimum, there will probably be like a 25% decrease in the amount of people that use the Scorch shit if it wasn't for, if the fog didn't exist, or if the fog did exist and had different stats, and time for one of the worst changes ever.
And remember, like with all of the weapons, if it totally sucks, we can always just change it.
At least he's open about changes. Oh boy.
This next one though, I'm pretty confident in. The Sharpened Volcano Fragment. This is, and I've thought this for like 11 years, the coolest looking weapon in Team Fortress 2. Which sucks, because it is by far the stupidest fucking weapon in Team Fortress 2. The Volcano Fragment ignites enemies on hit, which is pretty sick, until you think about the fact that the Pyro has a fucking flamethrower. If you're in a melee range of an enemy, you are 10 out of 10 times better off to just use the flamethrower. The point of the class. It does more damage, it has better range, it can air blast, and it will also light them on fire. This thing is completely useless outside of medieval mode. But what if we
take a good look at that. Fucking bleed.
fire? This thing is completely useless outside of medieval mode.
Medieval mode. Even in medieval mode, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's like every fucking class or every person that dies, they drop a medium-sized health kit, so it's like, what's the fucking point? Also, seriously, now, full afterburn and full bleed would bump this up to like 68 damage, so in other words, it would be a direct upgrade to stock. Actually speaking of which, the only direct upgrade to a stock weapon in this game is the 3rd degree. How interesting. How very cool. Yeah, and he doesn't talk about the 3rd degree at all. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I want to make something clear that I don't exactly like reskin weapons for the fact that a lot of them, like the Upper Hand and the Maul, for example, I mean, they have cool fucking designs. The fucking Upper Hand sounds like a fucking cannon. That's pretty epic. And the Maul fucking, it looks pretty beastly. Hold on. It has that Maul has a pretty sick design. It what looks like a wrench and a hammer in one, or something like that. But damn. Oh boy. But the only weapon that would be okay with becoming a reskin is the sharpened volcano fragment, because it is so bad it might as well be a reskin to the extinguisher. In fact, the accessory that he's about to suggest, or at least some of them, why not swap the extinguisher and the fucking volcano fragment? I mean, what the fuck? You know, that would be a much better fix. Just have it be a reskin of the fucking extinguisher.
The evil mode. But what if we really leaned into the damage over time mechanic of Afterburn? It is the sharpened volcano fragment after all. And what do sharp things do? That's right, they make you bleed. So now instead of just igniting enemies, the volcano fragment will also make them bleed, meaning they'll be taking 16 damage a second for 6 seconds after you hit them with this, for a total of 129 damage. This may seem overpowered, but let me remind you, this is still significantly less damage per second than the normal flamethrower, which can kill a light class in less than 2 seconds if the pyro is aiming properly. And let me also remind you that the original volcano fragment did 100 damage after 6 seconds, and nobody thought that was unfair, so this change really isn't that crazy. It'll
103 damage, huh? No complaints, huh? I mean, it's still the fucking volcano fragment. I'm not sure how many people will complain about it, except if they actually got killed by one.
definitely send enemies into a panic though, seeing their health draining that quickly, especially a medic or light class. Buffed. Speaking of medic.
Oh boy, and this is where it truly goes off the hill. What he does to your overdose is gonna make the fucking changes to the danger shield seem more reasonable. Okay, how would you fix the volcano fragment? These changes, his changes, bullshit. Decrease the downside or the length of the debuffs by like 20%, and have like do mid crits on people who are burning or fucking bleeding. Right? Boom. How would I change it? Like, have it increase the afterburn damage and duration by like 20%, no matter what. By that I mean, have the afterburn duration last for like, what is it, like 8? Oh, okay, so 7.5 seconds for afterburn, so that's 9 seconds. So I have it lasted for up to 9 seconds in total until it's over, and I have like mini crit on burning players, or maybe even full crit on burning players. Also have it deal like 30% less damage towards non-burning players, and have it like swing 20% slower. There, fixed it.
He's got a couple new toys too. I'll start by talking about the quick fix. Buffed. Speaking of medic, he's got a couple new toys too. I'll start by talking about the quick fix, which in my opinion is the most underrated weapon in this entire game. I love this thing. It's basically the only medigun I use. It's fun as hell, good as hell, and it's gonna remain unchanged.
And why mention it again? I mean, the quick fix is rather underpowered. Any of the other mediguns are a lot better than this fucking quick fix. Like, how would I fix, or I make the quick fix no better? Increase the uber charge rate from like 10% to 20%, and have the healing rate from the uber be up to 350 or from the 300% it is now. That's how I would fix it, or like buff it, because it is rather unpowered.
I want to make a whole video on this thing sometimes because I don't think anybody truly appreciates what it does for this game. Alright, now for the real changes. The Vaccinator. We all know this thing is overpowered. The 75% damage resistance the Ubers provide, combined with Overheal, essentially increases the medic's patient's health by 600%. To put that in perspective, an overhealed heavy with the Vaccinator Uber has a functional 1800 health against whatever damage type the medic chooses. That's basically just an Uber charge, except you get 4 of them and they charge twice as fast. If the medic's patient is somehow fighting a soldier, pyro, and scout all at the same time, then yeah, the damage resistances aren't gonna block everything. But most of the time, it's pretty easy for the medic to see what resistance is needed at any given moment and switch to it. You basically win any possible 2v1 with the click of a button. This whole item needs a serious makeover. I'm completely getting rid of the damage type resistances and replacing it with a single invulnerability Uber charge that lasts a little less than 1 second. Enough time to absorb a rocket, meat shot, headshot, or sticky trap if timed well. The Uber meter charges 500% faster to balance this out, taking about 8 seconds to fully charge instead of the normal 40. I want this Uber to feel like a defensive parry instead of like a full hand of get out of jail free cards. And as for the healing itself, I leaned into the vaccination theme of the weapon by giving it an 80% reduced overheal that never depletes. For reference, this will give an overhealed soldier a permanent 220 health, until he takes damage of course, in which case he'll need to be overhealed again. I want it to feel like you're vaccinating your teammates for the upcoming battle and having the survivors run back to you to get their booster shots once the overheal has been taken away by the enemies. I think this will be more fun, more unique, and most importantly, a lot less powerful. Nerfed.
Nerfed. Yeah, nerfed into the ground. The original fucking goddamn Vaccinator was like rebalanced as I had is fucking a mess. But this great. So you survive an extra rocket for slightly under a second that your regular Uber less. A rocket or a meat shot. The thing is that the medic heals like was like 23 heals 23 or 24 HP per fucking second. That means that this thing will need something like, I don't know, a 15% faster healing speed, and for the Ubers to last like 1.5 seconds at least, so it would actually be fucking worthwhile, because this is not how you fucking nerf this weapon. Or the Vaccinator definitely needs a nerf. You know, maybe something like a decrease in like the resistances from the Uber. Have the Uber last like 1.5 seconds instead of like 2.5 seconds. Have the resistances block like what? And have the resistances block 60% instead of 75% of the damage.
And now for the syringe guns, or as I call them, the syringe guns. They're all getting changed, starting with the stock syringe gun. I really wanted to avoid changing stock weapons, but this one is just so incredibly terrible that it pretty much forced my hand here. I think a plus 10% faster firing speed and plus 20% faster deploy time will give it that little extra kick it needs to be a defensive tool for anyone. Faster deploy time will I think a plus 10% faster firing speed and plus 20% faster deploy time will give it that little extra kick it needs to be a defensive tool for anyone popping up in your face. Buffed.
Okay, yeah, buffed, but the thing is that the medic is supposed to be shit at like firing. That's the thing. Considering that he is the fucking healer class now, if we are to buff like fucking all the classes, well except for Pyro I guess, like a buff to like base self, how would I do it? I mean, I don't know, maybe like increase these scouts like jump height by 10%, have these soldiers like fucking ammo capacity or ammo reserve be like doubled, and like for the mech, I don't know, maybe like have the medics make the syringe arc like 20% more straight, because that's the main problem that the syringe guns have. Like make the arc slightly, less shit. Like these changes, they'll make the mech a bit too gratifying. I mean, you want to make the mech, slightly gratifying, but this is not the way you do it.
And as for evasive tools, we've got the...
That was some good jump. I can't wait for y'all to fucking see why he does this shit. Take a look at that. The hell was he thinking? From over there as well.
Evasive tools, we've got the new Overdose. The old Overdose used to increase your move speed while equipped based on your uber charge percentage, which is kinda cool but mostly pointless because if you have full uber charge, you're probably gonna be keeping your medigun out in case you need to pop it, making the Overdose's speed boost completely null. I removed this whole uber charge percentage thing and just gave it a flat 15% speed boost and 20% jump height bonus while equipped. Which
You did not mishear that. He said while equipped, as in unaware, not deployed, equipped.
Speed boost completely null. I removed this whole uber charge percentage thing and just gave it a flat 15% speed boost and 20% jump height bonus while equipped.
This, alongside with the buff they gave to a syringe gun, to the stock syringe gun as a whole, this will probably be the fucking go-to syringe gun because that's insane. What? It has like a damage penalty, yes? Fucking shit. Overdose. It has, okay, now 20, a 15% damage penalty, alongside with deploying and shooting faster, and also you move faster and you jump higher. With these changes, like, if I were to fix his changes, then it would be have it while deployed, or I guess like increase the max movement speed by like 10% and jump height by 5% while equipped, and while deployed increase that to up to 15% for both. Have it have like a 15% damage penalty and make it fire like 15% faster. I'm not taking into account his fucking changes for a stock syringe gun. If I am, then that's like 25% slow fire rate, or what the fuck I said. My changes are that if you have like full fucking uber, your movement speed while this thing is active is increased by 20%. And then when you're healing someone, their movement speed is increased by 10%. Right, boom. Fixed. Something out there. I definitely didn't borrowed those stats from a girl, Mr. After Breakfast.
Which kinda fits with the name because it's like the medic is taking drugs. The Blutsauger gets a simple change. Killing enemies makes them drop a small health pack in addition to its normal stats. Buffed.
So a slightly better candy cane, okay. And still it's like the second most used syringe gun. Of course, because behind the crossbow, but it's like who the fuck? It's probably from one of Blue's fucking friends who suggested that every time you hit somebody and you're near teammates, your teammates also heal like, all nearby teammates also heal like 3 HP. And you know what, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, maybe it would be a bit too broken, so maybe that would need to be retooled, but that sounds like a better fucking fix. So I don't understand what the fuck this is. Shit. And my changes are just fucking bleh. On hit 4 HP, 25% faster reload speed, -2. Health region while deployed, -15% damage penalty, okay.
Which leads pretty naturally into the next change, the Vita Saw. Let's just be real, this thing is so stupid. You can hit an enemy to preserve 15% of your uber charge on death, but why would you do? You can hit an enemy to preserve
Magical
15%
Magical liquid.
of your Uber charge on death. But why would you do that if you could just equip the Uber Saw and get a 25% boost in your Uber immediately? It's encouraging the medic to make risky melee plays, but instead of rewarding him with extra survivability like the Uber Saw does, it just makes dying a little bit less punishing. But you're way less likely to die in the first place if you just stay back with your medigun instead of running in with the Vitasaw. It's totally counterintuitive, so I'm changing it completely. It gets a minus 20% firing speed, just like with the Uber Saw, but instead of gaining Uber on hit, you gain health on kill. A good bit of health too, a whopping 100. And it can overheal you too, like the old kunai. In combination with the Blutsauger, I think we'll finally have a truly
Like the old kunai, the one that you raped? Okay.
interesting battle medic subclass. But I don't think that will be the Vitasaw's only purpose. In combination with the Overdose, you could run in quick, nab some overheal off a weak target, and switch back to the Overdose to get the heck up on out of there. The same maneuver that you might do with the Uber Saw, but for a very different result.
Why would you try it? Well, fucking heavy, even as a bot.
Buffed.
I would, with this thing and being a mech, why can't it be something like, I don't know, plus 10? Okay, so how about this? On hit, you take an enemy's organ, right? 10% Uber, but also you gain 15 HP on the fucking hit. And that HP can also go into overheal, either close or up to like your max HP, or if you haven't taken any damage rather. You can hit enemy up to fucking 6 times, you got six fucking organs. And also you can have like overheal on no fucking decay 20% slower on you or something. I don't know. I don't even know how to fucking balance the fucking Viasa. But that sounds like a lot more worthwhile than just being a discount power jack.
Result. Buffed. And so that's pretty much it. I tried fixing some of TF2's crappiest items.
And there's the list.
And I know you might be thinking, you know, that's cool and all, but how do you know if these changes are actually balanced? And the answer is, I don't. I have a decent bit of game design experience, but if I'm being honest, I really need your help with this project. Just by playing on the server, whether or not you use the changed items or not, you'll be helping me to see how these changes affect the actual gameplay. And if you want to take it a step further, you can join my Discord server and tell me directly if something feels unfair. Or you can share this video around to some friends and help populate the servers. These changes are not permanent. I expect there to be some problems, so I'll be updating the rules when necessary to try and maximize the fun you guys can have on the server. I truly believe TF2 is the greatest game ever made. It's at least the greatest game I've ever played.
Greatest game ever made. Yes.
And by continuing to make these balance changes as a community, I think we can get it to a state we've never seen it in before. A new golden age. An Australian age, if you will.
Oh boy, those stats.
Call me a dreamer, but I think it's possible. Maybe
Call me insane.
we can even make the heavy update sometime. But for now, if you want to try these weapons out, head on over to grouchland.net and hit connect. And if you're annoyed that there aren't enough servers, you can fix that problem by clicking this Patreon button.
Not enough servers. I think I have a bit more of a problem, mate.
There's a couple of very fine folks that already have, and I owe
Fucking course, this guy.
this entire project all to them, especially my main man Zindy. Oh, and also thanks to Fish Stick on a Stick and High GPS for their contributions to TF2's ongoing balance discussion.
Lebad Weapon Academy, man? Made Lebad weapons? If you get a reference, you're a fucking G. You're a GPS fucking, I don't know, whatever.
And if you ever somehow get bored of TF2, you can click that lightning bolt icon on the website for a guaranteed good time. Alright, that's it from me. See you on the server.
Okay. Nearing 2.5 hours. Okay, I'm gonna try and make this quick. Goddamn. Like, yeah, I was fucking typing shit on my notepad on my fucking PC because I am on my laptop. right now, but Jesus Christ, I didn't think that was going to take this fucking long. Goddamn. Well, if I ever manage to upload this video, I hope that y'all enjoyed it. If I can't upload it, then I'm gonna have to upload some fucking smaller, or not smaller, some I can't fucking, my fingers, goddamn. Whatever, I'm gonna upload some shorter videos. My voice, my throat is fucking raspy. So yeah, I hope that you all enjoy this video, wherever you are, if you manage to see us. If not, then, well, at least I tried. So yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this video for the past, like, this was supposed to go on the, I was supposed to make this video 2 days ago actually, or 3 days ago, because on the 25th, of course I'm a dipshit, because like, the mouse that I was using for my PC, it broke. I then went to sleep. After like a few hours, I went outside, and I was like, oh shit, all the stores are closed because it's Christmas Day. So I waited until the 26th, and I was the 27th. So this video was supposed to come out on the 24th, but I fucked up. Like, the thing is that the original recording, I still have it, the 19 minutes that I spent too fucking long with the intro shit, almost, or like completely, but it's 20 minutes long, and that was an absolute disaster, as I didn't realize that the pause button was not here. I needed to fucking enable it. I'm not sure why it's not there automatically, so I had to watch a fucking video to tell me like how to fucking enable that shit. But either way, I hope y'all, whoever you are, enjoy this video. I hope that the next video they make is going to be long in a better way, not this absolute mess. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Bye.